Hello everyone and welcome to Sinful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the grey. Today's video we're going to talk getting started with Age of Sigmar Warcry, and today we're going to take a look at the Disciples of Tzeentch and the demon part of the faction. Now in Warcry, Disciples of Tzeentch and indeed all of the main Chaos God factions are split into demons and mortals. Now, in this video, we're going to look at all the rules that make the demons work on the tabletop and how this makes them function. We'll then take a look at a couple of units we recommend to get started with before looking at other units to expand upon with our collection. Finally, we'll finish off the video with a little sample warband of 1,000 renown for you to use as some inspiration for creating your own Disciples of Tzeentch demon army for Warcry. Now, before we get into the video properly, Warcry core rules and the rules for this warband and indeed many other warbands are all free to download at warhammercommunity.com. Simply go to the download part of the website underneath the Warcry header. You'll find all the rules you need to play Warcry. Now, the Disciples of Tzeentch Demons, they have a bunch of ranged damage dealing abilities and also a bunch of range on a ton of their models, with some useful additional utility abilities as well, allowing you to manipulate your dice. Now, horrors also have their own specific reaction, which is the split and split again. For those who play Age of Sigmar, you'll know what this sort of means. Each pink horror splits into 2 blue horrors. Each blue horror splits into 2 brimstone horrors, though the brimstone horrors are on the same base. Now, you've also got a universal reaction, which allows you to pick a hit roll when an opponent attacks you, and choose to change one of your doubles to the value of that ability. So if they roll a 6 to hit, you get to change one of your dice. You'd have to pick, you're doing this before your opponent rolls the dice, so if they roll, 2 1s, you are changing one of your abilities to a 1, but such is the fickle part of fate. And so, looking where to begin, the Fluxmaster for me is definitely the hero that I think is most worth it for the faction. 25 wounds, toughness 3. This is a problem with Disciples of Tzeentch Demons. You do have low toughness pretty much across the board, with not a single model having higher than 3. But 25 wounds will ensure you are able to survive that a little bit more. The big ability for this model is the Blue Fire ability, where you pick a visible enemy fighter within 9 inch on a double and roll 2 dice. For each 4 to 5, you allocate a damage point, and for each 6, allocate a number of damage points equal to the value of this ability. For me, it's also that fly rune mark that makes this model really good, as it can make sure it stays where it is protected on the battlefield. You do have a cool 2 attacks at strength 3, 3, 6 on the damage at range, and then you've also got 3 attacks at strength 4, 2, 5 on the damage if you choose to go with the Staff of Change, or 4 attacks at strength 4, 2, 4 on the damage if you go with the Ritual Dagger. Really, there's not much different. I generally do prefer the little bit of extra damage. You're not going to be doing an awful lot of damage, or you're not really going to be wanting to get in combat, so you're probably going to be wanting to go with the one that can actually hit the harder with the weapons. Now, looking at other fighters to bring along, first of all, Pink Horrors I think are the best place to go. Pink Horrors have a ranged attack of 3 to 10 inch range, 2 attacks, strength 3, 1, 4 on the damage, and then another 3 attacks at strength 3, 1, 4 on the damage in melee as well. Not too shabby. Toughness 3 as all, but 12 wounds is pretty nice. Now, they can choose to split the pink horrors down into 2 blue horrors if they are slain with a reaction, which is pretty cool. This means, there's a lot more wounds than you would first expect there. And of course, where to go next then will be blue and brimstone horrors. These definitely are an integral part of the army. You're wanting to make sure you've got enough blue and brimstone horrors to represent how many pinks you have, and make sure you can always get those splits off when you want to. Now, blue and brimstones progressively get a little bit less punchy than the pink horrors, though you do still have a decent amount of models and wounds on the table. 8 wounds at toughness 3, will require your opponent generally to roll a crit on an attack action or have to spend 2 to get through them. Brimstone horrors only have 6 wounds though, so they generally are taken care of pretty easy, but everything in the horrors can all punch out some attacks. Now, looking at something that definitely punches out at range, the Exalted Flamer of Tzeentch, I think, is, for me, the best type of Flamer. It is sufficiently more expensive than the other Flamers, but the 2-5 on its damage with 4 attacks at strength 3, I think, is really nice. It also has its own ability as well, which is called the Capricious Warp Flame, and this can actually be used by all of your different Flamer variations you've got access to. What this does for a quad is you allocate a number of damage points equal to the value of this ability to all visible fighters within 3 inch, or visible enemy fighters. So this can just be a really, really powerful ability on top of the Exalted Flamer of Tzeentch already punching out. And what's more, the Exalted Flamer of Tzeentch does have 25 wounds. So once again, you've not got great toughness in this warband, so having a lot of wounds is definitely your sort of out with that. The other hero we have available to us is the Changecaster, which again has the option of Staff of Change Ritual Dagger, pretty similar to the Fluxmaster. But it's got a different ability for a triple called Pink Fire, where you roll 9 dice and pick a visible enemy fighter within 9 inch, and on each 4+ on those 9 dice, you allocate a damage point to that fighter. Lastly, we have the Screamers of Tzeentch. Now, these don't have a shooting attack, but they do provide something different. They've got a 12-inch move, and they are beasts, so they can't grab treasure for you, but they do count for some nice objective holding. They've got Fly as well. And they've got their Latching Bite, where they add half the value of this ability, rounding up to the strength characteristic of their next attack. So it can actually provide some combat potential for you with a nice strength 4 in combat. Now, they've only got 3 wounds as well on their toughness, but 18 wounds is really nice. Now, looking at our sample army, we've got a Fluxmaster with the Staff of Change as our champion. Now, for me, this, I think, is the better one. You can definitely drop down to a Changecaster, but I really like the Fluxmaster's ability with Fly for him to be able to jump out of in fights where he wants to. Also, the fact that Blue Fire is on a double, I think you're just going to get more chances to go that off with your Pink Fire being on the triple, and you're generally having triples wanting to become quads to get that Capricious Warp Flame in. Now, you've got, for fighters, 2 pink horrors, 3 blue horrors, remembering there's a ton of splitting potential there, and an Exalted Flamer of Tzeentch. Now, this is 1,000 renown on the nose, 7 activations, slightly below average, but of course, as soon as one of those pink or blues dies, you either stay the same, or in the case of the pinks, get more activations in your turn. Generally, your blue horrors are going to be the ones that you activate first, wanting to activate those smaller horrors to ensure, though there are some cool strategies you could definitely employ with activating pink horrors early, purposely getting them to get killed and split and get additional fighters on objectives. Now, we've got 98 wounds standard in this warband. It actually goes up to 172 when you take into account all the extra wounds that are there, with the potential of splitting every single model. So the wounds is a little bit deceptive. If you've been playing with Disciple Tzeentch Demons in Warcry, let us know how you've been going and what you would do down in the comments below. And so that is the end of the video. We hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our cool little community here at Sinful Gaming, you can do so in our Discord server, which is linked down in the video's description. If you'd like to help support the channel, you can do so either by joining our Patreon or YouTube members, both of which are linked in the video's description, or going over to our channel merch store and grabbing some channel merch for yourself. We'd like to give our Patreons and YouTube members a special shout out for helping support the channel and allowing us to keep doing what we're doing. So a special thank you to our Patreons, Christian Weir, Soren, Kenny Lowe, Outer and Shot First, Andrew Bowen, Nathan Fee, The Rising 8, Cure Dynamic, Anthony B, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, Derek and Bloobs, and to our YouTube members as well, Green Roots Gaming, Kenton Young, Ronya, Lock Lorick, The Johnny 84, David Ellsworth, Wolfric Nick, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Revenar, Pink Nico Fire, Robin Mankiller, Monty's Tabletop Terrain, John Castle and Davis Weir. And a special thank you to Lady Witchfox at the end here, because she does all the amazing artwork for the channel. It looks stunning. With that said, thank you all for watching once again. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the grey. Ciao for now.